राम राम सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः. Welcome to the 18th session of Experience the Bliss of Shivananda Lahari. So last class we have completed 28 verses. And the 28th was a very beautiful description of the 4 kinds of mukti. We will quickly revisit that verse today and then move on to learning verses 29 and 30. So let us all begin with Guru Vandanam. Request all of you to please sit up straight and chant the Guru Vandanam. Gururev gatirgurumev bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave न गुरो परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सौन्दर्यलहरी कर्त्रे सर्वमङ्गलदायिने शङ्कराचार्यवर्याय यतिराजाय ते नमः. शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये. प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तन्नृसिंहगुरुं भजे. श्रीसच्चिदानन्द शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान् सदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखं नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीम् विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे. भारती करुणापात्रं भारतीपदभूषणं भारतीपदमारूढं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये. भारतीतीर्थवर्यन्तं भक्तहृत्तापनाशनं भवभीतिहरं देवं भावये सततं हृदि. विद्या विनय संपन्नौ वीतरागौ विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्त तत्त्वज्ञौ विधुशेखर भारतीम् अनंत गुण संपन्नामनन्ताभिधयाश्रुताम् अनंत ज्ञानदात्रीं तां मातरं प्रणुमो वयम्. गैर्वाण्या संविबोधेन जीवनं मौल्यसंयुतं या करोत्तान्नमाम्यम्बां शारदामूर्तरूपिणीम्. कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृतशशिकलाभ्यां निजतपः फलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे. शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्यामानन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यां नतिरियम्. Okay. So we learned 26, 27 and 28 in the previous class. Could I request each of our panelists to chant one of these? Aditi, 26, then Charu, 27, and Shriya 28th verse. Just as a revision.
कदा वा त्वां दृष्ट्वा गिरिश तव भव्याङ्घ्रियुगलम् गृहीत्वा हस्ताभ्यां शिरसि नयने वक्षसि वहन् समाश्लिष्याघ्राय स्फुटजलजगन्धान् परिमलान् नलभ्यां ब्रह्माद्यैः मुदमनुभविष्यामि हृदये.
Aditi, third line once again, third and fourth lines.
समाश्लिष्याघ्राय स्फुटजलजगन्धान् परिमलानलभ्यान् ब्रह्माद्यैः मुदमनुभविष्यामि हृदये.
Uttamam. Next, Charu. Yes, 20, okay, 27.
करस्थे हेमाद्रौ गिरिशनिकटस्थे धनपतौ गृहस्थे स्वर्भुजामरसुरभिचिन्तामणिगणे शिरस्थे शीतांशौ चरणयुगलस्थेऽखिलशुभे कमर्थं दास्येऽहं भवतु भवदर्थं मम मनः.
There, could you do the Parasavarana and chant Charu? Kamarthan dasyeham.
Kamarthan dasyeham bhavatu bhavadartham mama manaha.
Uttamam. Next verse. Shriya.
सारूप्यं तव पूजने शिव महादेवेति संकीर्तने सामीप्यं शिव भक्ति धुर्य जनता सांगत्य संभाषणे सालोक्यं च चराचरात्मकनुध्याने भवानीपते सायुज्यं मम सिद्धमत्र भवति स्वामिन् कृतार्थोऽस्म्यहम्.
Uttamam. Third and fourth line again. Salokyancha.
सालोक्यञ्च चराचरात्मकनुध्याने भवानीपते.
Once again, am I missing a letter there? Chara, that one.
सालोक्यञ्च चराचरात्मकनुध्याने
You are missing ta. You are chanting characharatmakanudhyane. Characharatmakatanudhyane. Ta. Okay. I'm not sure if if there's some connectivity issue or what, but both the times the ta wasn't heard. Characharatmakatanudhyane. Tanu is the form or body. Yeah. Third line.
सालोक्यं च चराचरात्मकनुध्याने भवानीपते.
Characharatmakatanudhyane. Only that word.
चराचरात्मकनुध्याने भवानीपते.
Again, I feel you're missing a letter. Characharatmakatanudhyane. Okay, I am hearing it as characharatmakanudhyane without the ta in between. Okay, or maybe you're telling it very fast. I'm not sure. Once again, that tanu should be clear. Tanu, that word tanu should be clearer. Okay, try once again.
सालोक्यं च चराचरात्मकतनुध्याने भवानीपते सायुज्यं मम सिद्धमत्र भवति स्वामिन् कृतार्थोऽस्म्यहम्.
Uttamam, Shriya. So each letter we must chant, give the same amount of time as we give for depending on whether it is a hrasva or a dirgha. Sometimes if we chant a letter fast, what happens? Especially when in a word where there are more letters, we may not be able to hear or grasp that letter. So that we should all keep in mind. All the hrasva letters, ekamatra kala, dirgha, dvimatra kala. So you could revisit that rules of pronunciation video, which we have. Okay, we had stopped here in the previous class. It's a very beautiful verse, and many of you sent messages that you really enjoyed listening to the meaning of this verse. So the 4 kinds of mukti have been described by our Guru, Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya, in a very beautiful way, saying the bhakta will experience all these 4 kinds of mukti right here. Shiva, Tava Pujane Sarupyam. Sarupya Mukti in worshipping Shiva. Mahadeva iti Sankirtane Samipyam. That closeness, proximity to Shiva, where by doing the Nama Sankirtana as Mahadeva of Parameshwara. Then Salokyam, that is same loka, being in the same loka. Salokya Mukti, Shiva Bhakti Dhuriya Janata Sangatya Sambhashane. So in the company of Shiva Bhaktas, speaking about the glories and leelas of Shiva, and in their glorious company, one experiences Salokya Mukti. And Characharatmaka Tanudhyane Sayujyam. So in doing dhyana about that embodiment Shiva, who is the embodiment of both movable and immovable entities. So basically by doing Shiva Dhyanam, one experiences Sayujya Mukti, that is the ultimate Parama Gati of understanding that Jivatma, Paramatma are one and the same. One cannot separate both. So that is Sayujyam, ultimate union with Parameshwara. Siddham Atra Bhavati. Ihaiva, here itself one experiences that. Swamin Kritarthaha Asmi, my life is fulfilled. So, Sayujyam, we have discussed briefly in the previous class that even in Saundarya Lahari, in one of the verses, Bhavani Tvandase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakarunamiti Stotum Vanchan Kathayati Bhavani Tvamiti Yaha Tadaivatvam Tasmai Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavim Mukunda Brahmendra Sputamakuta Nirajita Padam. So beautiful verse in Saundarya Lahari, which is complementary to Shivananda Lahari, like we have been seeing in many classes so far. So Saundarya Lahari describing Jagannmata, Jagat Janani Devi. There is a very powerful, beautiful verse where again Shankaracharya makes a reference to Sayujya Padavi. So he says, a bhakta, he wanted to convey something to Devi. He wanted to seek something from Devi. So he practices the line, Bhavani means, Hey Bhavani, O Devi, Tvam, you, Mayi Dase. Dase Mayi is there in that verse. Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakarunam. O Bhavani, please shower your eyesight full of Karuna. Sakarunam Drishtim. Mayi Vitara. Please shower on me your Karuna Purita Drishti. Your eyesight full of Karuna. So he practices this line many times. Bhavani Tvam Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakarunam. He practices. And he goes to Bhavani Sannidhi and he only says Bhavani Tvam. He doesn't say the entire line. He forgets. He has practiced, but he only says Bhavani Tvam. Devi is so pleased by just those 2 words of Bhavani Tvam. And then she blesses him, Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavim. With just these 2 words, Devi blesses the bhakta with Sayujya Padavi, this ultimate union. So the same Sayujya Padavi we come across in both Shivananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari. Like this, we have many verses where we have been seeing the samyam of these 2 beautiful stotrams. So here, just for those interested in Sanskrit, Bhavani Tvam. There are two meanings. Bhavani as a noun means Hey Bhavani, addressing, vocative case. Hey Bhavani, O Devi, Tvam Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakaruna. But when the Bhakta just says Bhavani Tvam, Devi takes it as a verb. So Bhavani is also a verb in Sanskrit, which means I become. That Bhavani taken as a verb becomes I become. Tvam means I become you, which means that is the Sayujya Padavi only. Understanding that Jivatma, Paramatma are one and the same. Getting that ultimate Atma Jnana, Shivanandam, Brahmanandam, Sachidanandam, whatever we may call it as. So that is nothing but understanding Bhavanitvam, that you are Bhagavati or Bhagavan or that Parabrahma Tattvam itself in whichever form we visualize. So Devi is so impressed that the Bhakta says Bhavanitvam means he has said a Vakya equal to Aham Brahmasmi. That is, I am that Brahman or Soham. So that ultimate Advaita Tattva he has brought out in a very beautiful way in that verse and also in Shivan Saundarya Lahari. And he says, Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavim. You give the Bhakta Nija Sayujya Padavi. When the Bhakta just says Bhavani Tvam. Here again see the beautiful play of words also if you compare these two stotrams. In this verse also he has used Bhavani Pate. I mean, this is just a very interesting observation. Here Bhavani Pati refers to Parameshwara. And somebody asked me why Bhavani. That is because of the difference in the case. Vibhakti changes for a noun. Therefore, that's a matter of Sanskritam grammar. Here Bhavani Pati is a compound word. Bhavanyaha Patihi. Bhavani Patihi. That is Parameshwara. Bhavani Pate is addressing Parameshwara. And here also he says, Nija Mama Sayujyam Siddham Atra Bhavati Swamin Kritarthaha Asmi. A very beautiful verse. Even in the previous classes, we have discussed how even in Saundarya Lahari, there is one shloka where Tava Vadana Saundarya Lahari, he brings in that title of the stotram. Similarly, even in Shivananda Lahari, he has that title shloka. I think the second or third shloka, we have that Shivananda Lahari coming in. So those who have already studied Saundarya Lahari, very good. Please keep practicing. Those who haven't, we have already a completed course in Vyoma. We have completed all the 100 verses, similar to Shivananda Lahari, but we didn't do the meaning there. You could go through the recordings, sign up for free on Sanskrit from Home and go through the recordings. They are available, class PDFs are available online. Recordings are available both on the course page and on YouTube. So you could do that. And in this context, another very beautiful verse comes to mind where Krishna says, Naham vasami vaikunthe yoginam hridaye yoginam hridaye shubha madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tisthami narada. So Narayana says, I don't stay in Vaikuntha, not in the heart of yogis, but where my bhaktas sing, there I stand. So similarly here, Shankaracharya is saying, where the bhaktas are singing, that itself is in the company of Shiva Bhaktas itself is Salokyam. When you sing Mahadeva's name, that itself is Samipyam. So even Narayana says in one verse, how I stand, I am there where the Bhaktas are singing. So with this puja, sankirtana and satsanga and dhyanam itself, Acharya Shankara has shown us how we can experience Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, Sayujya Muktis right here. Beautiful verse. Now we will go to the 29th verse. Charu. Vatpadambujamarchayami paramam.
Vatpadambujamarchayami paramam त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमम्
त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
with parasavarna.
त्वां चिन्तयामन्वहम्
चिन्तयामि अन्वहम् चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
त्वामीशं शरणौ व्रजामि
त्वामीशं शरणौ व्रजामि त्वामीशं शरणौ व्रजामि
वचसा
वचसा वचसा
त्वामेव याचे विभो
त्वामेव याचे विभो त्वामेव याचे विभो
वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीम्
वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीम् वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीम्
सकरुणाम्
सकरुणाम्
दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम्
दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम् दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम्
शम्भो लोकगुरो
शम्भो लोकगुरो शम्भो लोकगुरो
मदीयमनसः
मदीयमनसः मदीयमनसः
सौख्योपदेशं कुरु
सौख्योपदेशं कुरु सौख्योपदेशं कुरु
Okay, so see, you see the lines are bigger, Shardula Vikriditam compared to Shikharini Chandas. So Tvatpadambuja Marchayami Paramam Tvam Chintayamyaham. Combining it becomes Tvan Chintayam Yanvaham. Chintayami Anvaham. Tvan Chintayam Yanvaham. Tvamisham Sharanau Vrajami. There, note that Anuswara, how we pronounce it. Sharanau Vrajami Vachasa. Tvameva Yache. Vibho. Bho is Mahaprana. Viksham me disha chakshushim. Sakarunam. Divyaishchiram prarthitam. Thi is Mahaprana. Shambho. Lokaguro. Madiya manasaha. Saukhyopadesham Kuru. So when you combine, it becomes Madiya Manasas Saukhyopadesham Kuru. So Manasaha, when you split, but we combine and chant, Manasas Saukhyopadesham, note the Kha Mahaprana. Upadesham Kuru. When you combine, again we combine the Sandhi. Madiya Manasas Saukhyopadesham Kuru. Okay. Now we'll do one quarter at a time. त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम्
त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो
त्वामीशं शरणौ व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो त्वामीशं शरणौ व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो
वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणाम् दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम्
वीक्षां मां दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुण
Viksham, you said mam disha. Viksham me disha.
वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम् वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम्
शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु
शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु.
So here another thing to note, Vibho, Shambho, Lokaguro, all are Sambodhana, that is addressing Parameshwara. We see beautiful every verse he is addressing in various ways. So Vibho, Shambho, Lokaguro, Okara is always a Dirgha in Sanskritam, like we learnt in the pronunciation class. So we have to prolong it to two matra kalas. Okay, Vibho, Shambho, Loka Guro. It should clearly be heard as a Dirgha, not as a Hrasva. So now we will do 2 lines at a time. Tvatpadambujamarchayami paramam Tvanchintayamyanvaham Tvamisham sharanau vrajami vachasa Tvameva yache vibho.
त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो.
Bhiksham me disha chakshushim sakaruణam divyaiश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम् शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु.
वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थितां शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थितां शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु.
Uttamam. Now, Kuru, one more thing to remember, all of us, that is a Hrasva. So, we should prolong the Ukara in the end. Okay, now we will do the entire verse. Tvatpadambujamarchayami paramam Tvanchintayamyanvaham Tvamisham sharanau vrajami vachasa Tvameva yache vibho Viksham me disha chakshushim sakaruణam divyaiश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम् शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीय मनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु.
त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो वीक्षां मे दिश चाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थिताम् शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीयमनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु.
Uttamam, Charu. So, beautiful verse again with lot of tattvas here. So, see the way he is addressing Parameshwara. Vibho, that is, O all-pervading Parameshwara, the Supreme Master, Vibho, the Lord of the entire universe. Vibho, Shambho, O Shambhu, Loka Guru, a very important addressing here. Loka Guru. So Shambhu is addressed as the Guru of all the lokas. So we know as Dakshinamurti, Parameshwara, there is a very beautiful verse which says, Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha, who is none other than another avatar of Parameshwara. Gurave Sarvalokanam, he is the Guru of all the lokas. Bhishaje Bhavaroginam, for us who are in this Bhavasagara, he is the Bhishak, that is, he is the Vaidya or the doctor for us who are in this Bhava Roga, in this Samsara Roga. So, Samsara Roga Piditaha Vayam, Bhishak Saha Eva, Bhishak Bhagavan, Parameshwaraha, he is the doctor. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam, he is the Nidhi, the treasure of all the Vidyas. Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Also, we have Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So the Guru Parampara starts from Parameshwara himself. And then Shankaracharya Asmadacharya Paryantam. So it's a very famous shloka also, which is chanted. Sadashiva Samarambham, starting with Parameshwara. So the ultimate guru for the world is Bhagavan. Whether you consider him as Parameshwara or Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum, in whichever way, ultimate guru is Bhagavan. From then, our acharyas who came down with so much of compassion, Bhagavan came in the form of acharyas and he gave us these stotras showing us the right path in this Bhavasagara or Samsara Sagara. Then, of course, we have the Guru Parampara, our gurus. That's the greatness of Bharatam, our country, that we have this Avichinna Guru Parampara who have come, who are guiding humanity in every generation. We have great yogis and great Mahapurushas amidst us, guiding humanity. So, Shambho Loka Guru. What is the prayer here? Madiya Manasaha Saukhyopadesham Kuru. Madiya Manasaha, for my mind. What do you do? Please, Saukhya Upadesham Kuru. So do Upadesha. Please do Upadesha to my mind. See the apt usage here. Shankaracharya is visualizing and addressing Parameshwara as Loka Guru. And from gurus only we seek Upadesha for us, be it Shlokopadesha, Mantropadesha or anything, even Atma Vidya. So ultimately, only with the compassion of a guru can one experience this Shivanandam, Brahmanandam. How many ever stotras we may study or we may read Vedanta, that compassion of a guru is necessary. So here, hey Parameshwara, hey Loka Guru, to my mind, you please bless my mind with that Upadesha of that Shiva Tattva or Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. Also to get for the mind to be able to receive that Brahmanandam, Shivanandam, the mind has to be, cultivated with all that Kalyana Gunas, good qualities. So please, Parameshwara, bless my mind so that it becomes both apt for Shivanandam and bless it with that Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. Saukhyopadesham refers to that teaching of supreme bliss or Shivanandam. So what will I do? Tvat padambujam paramam archayami. Paramam is the ultimate, which are the most exalted. There is nothing beyond that. Tvat pada ambujam. Here the feet are compared to the lotus. So I worship or I do archana to your lotus feet, which are the ultimate. There is nothing beyond that. Tvat padambujam paramam or paramam tvat padambujam archayami. I do archana to your lotus feet. Tvam anvaham chintayami. Anvaham is that ananya chintana. Like Krishna says in many times in Gita, Ananyash chintayanto mam yejanaf paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. That ananya chintana, that is continuously thinking of Bhagavan without a break. That is what anuchintanam means, not just chintanam. Tvam chintayami anvaham. Every day, every minute, every moment, without fail, the only chintana is Bhagavan. Is this possible? Yes, even while doing our duties, day-to-day duties, all of us have to do our day-to-day duties, our karmas. So that karma, while doing it, we think of Bhagavan as an offering to Bhagavan and do it. That's what Krishna says, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yajjuhoshi, dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. So whether whatever duties we have at home or at work or with family, thinking of Bhagavan, that anuchintanam, that is what is being referred to here. Tvam anvaham chintayami. I constantly think of you without a break. Tvam sharanam vrajami. Tvam isham. You are the Lord, you are Bhagavan, Isha. Sharanam vrajami. I surrender to you. This is the Sharanagati Tattva. Shankaracharya has brought out this Sharanagati Tattva in many of his stotrams. Here is one such where ultimately we have to surrender to Bhagavan. Mameva Sharanam Vraja. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mameva Sharanam Vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashuchaha. Krishna says in Gita. So Arjuna, you give up, just surrender to me and I will protect you. Tvam isham sharanam vrajami. So I surrender to you completely. Vachasa tvam eva yache. With my words, I only request for you, which means I am not seeking wealth, possessions, power, position, anything else. What do I want? I want only you, Bhagavan. This is the ultimate state of bhakti, where the bhakta doesn't desire anything or anyone apart from Bhagavan himself or Bhagavati herself, in whichever way we are doing the upasana. So, Tvameva yache, I seek only you, Vibho, all-pervading Parameshwara. And one more way of understanding Tvam Eva is I request only you, meaning I do not request anyone else. Only I surrender to you, I request only you, and I only seek you, nothing else. Tvam Eva yache Vibho. So what do you do? Sakarunam chakshushim viksham divyaihi chiram prarthitam me disha. Chakshushim means, chakshuhu means eyes. Chakshushim means of the eyes or belonging to the eyes. Viksham. Viksham means drishti, glance. So, sakarunam, with a lot of compassion. How is that drishti of Parameshwara? Divyaihi chiram prarthitam. All the devas, the divine, the celestials are constantly praying for it. Chiram prarthitam. They are constantly praying for this viksha, drishti of Parameshwara. Divyaihi chiram prarthitam sakarunam chakshushim viksham me disha. So such a glance which is filled with compassion and which is constantly requested for by devas, O Parameshwara, please bless me with that glance, or please cast upon me that glance of yours filled with compassion. Shambho Lokaguru. So with that compassion, when Bhagavan glances a bhakta, glances at a bhakta with that chakshushim, sakarunam, viksham, with that compassion-filled viksha, what happens? Madiya manasaha saukhyopadesham kuru. With that ikshana diksha, you please bless me with that ultimate, bless my mind with Shivanandam. So very important aspect here. So here Shankaracharya is telling us that a mere glance filled with compassion of a guru, here Bhagavan himself is guru, he is referring to Bhagavan himself as Loka Guru, is sufficient to get that Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. So again, a very important aspect in Sanatana Dharma, there are three kinds of dikshas which a guru blesses a shishya with. One is Smarana Diksha, that is just by thinking, there even without physical proximity, Just by thinking, a guru can bless a shishya with smarana diksha. That is sufficient to get that Brahmanandam. Then next is Ikshana Diksha. Here Shankaracharya is praying for this Ikshana Diksha. Ikshana is by seeing. So just by seeing, the Guru blesses the Shishya. That is called Ikshana Diksha. The third kind is Sparsha Diksha. That is by touching the, by blessing with placing the hand on the Shishya's head or with touch. That way, that is Sparsha Diksha, the third kind of Diksha. So Smarana Diksha, just by thinking, then Ikshana Diksha by seeing, Sparsha Diksha by touch. These are the three Dikshas by which a guru can bless a Shishya. And like in Dakshinamurti Stotram, there is one shloka. Chitram Vatataror Mule Vridhaha Shishyaha Gurur Yuva. Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. This was a favorite of my guru also. She used to say how this Upadesha of this Paramatatva, Dakshinamurti was a very young person. Vridhaha Shishyaha. The Dakshinamurti form, if you see, is a very young god. The Shishyas were old Shishyaha. Under that Vatataru. Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam. The Guru, Dakshinamurti, never taught with words, but the Shishyas understood everything, the Paramatatva itself. Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. They did not have even a little bit of doubt. So even in one of the lectures recently, Sannidhanam sometime back said how this Paramatatva, that Upadesha is given just by silence, that Upadesham can be given, and not necessarily by using these words, because words really can't describe what Shivanandam is. We are trying to understand the meaning of these verses, taking the first few steps, but the language has its limitations. It really can't describe. If someone says this is Shivanandam, other person can't experience. Only that experience should be Svanubhava. That will happen with the Guru's grace. And here Shankaracharya is praying for that Ikshana Diksha and Madiya Manasa Saukhyopadesham. So please bless my mind with that Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. So that is the meaning of this verse. So let us quickly go through the complete meaning. I worship your exalted lotus feet, O Supreme Being, and contemplate upon you daily without fail. To you, O Bhagavan, I surrender with my words, and I request only you, O all-pervading Parameshvara. Please cast upon me a compassionate glance with your divine eyes, a glance that even Devatas have long prayed for. O Shambhu, O source of bliss and teacher of the entire world, please bless my mind with teaching. Please bless my mind with supreme bliss. So Loka Guru, now if we have to speak about the word Guru, it will take many hours together. So not all teachers can be called Gurus. Again, only in Prashnottara Ratnamalika, Shankaracharya very beautifully says, Adhigata Tattvaha Shishya Hitaya Udyata Satatam. That a person who is called a guru should be an Adhigata Tattva himself. He should have realized the Brahman himself, like our Shankaracharya, who is giving us Upadesha through these verses. And Shishya Hitaya Udyata Satatam, not just a realized soul himself, an Atmajnani himself or herself, but someone who is always only interested in the welfare of the Shishya and expects nothing else from the Shishyas. Only such a person is called a guru, who can dispel the darkness of Ajnanam, ignorance, and bless the Shishya with the light of knowledge, that Atmajnanam. So everyone can't be gurus. There is a very specific connotation. So here Loka Guru, we must understand in that context. We cannot loosely translate it as a teacher. Guru, we must say guru only. Many words don't have exact translations in English. So we will move to the next verse. Shriya. Vastrodhuta vidhau sahasrakarata.
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता
पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता
पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता
गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने
गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्नपचने गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्नपचने
बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत्
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत्
बालेन्दुचूडामणे
बालेन्दुचूडामणे बालेन्दुचूडामणे
शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते
शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते
स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरु स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
उत्तमम् वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ note the mahapranas सहस्रकरता सहस्र note the dvitvam there पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने गन्धे गन्धवहात्मता अन्न पचने so when you combine dha note the mahapranas गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता खा and dhar mahapranas पात्रे कांचन गर्भतास्ति भ is महाप्राणा मयि चेत् बालेन्दु चूडामणे शुश्रूषां करवाणि combining शुश्रूषां करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो वस्त्रोद्धूत विधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता
गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे
शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
वस्त्रोद्धूतविधौ सहस्रकरता पुष्पार्चने विष्णुता गन्धे गन्धवहात्मतान्न पचने बर्हिर्मुखाध्यक्षता पात्रे काञ्चन गर्भतास्ति मयि चेत् बालेन्दुचूडामणे शुश्रूषाङ्करवाणि ते पशुपते स्वामिन् त्रिलोकी गुरो
Uttamam. Here, when you combine in the last line, you could also chant it as Swamin Triloki Guru. So, Swamin Triloki Guru combines to form Swamin Triloki Guru. Both are correct. Otherwise, you can say Swamin Triloki Guru. Again, in this verse, like in the previous verse, Ishvara is referred to as Triloki Guru. Gurave Sarvalokanam. So, he is the Lord, the Guru for all the lokas. Triloki Guru, Swamin, O Master, Pashupate. Pashupate, we have seen previously the significance of this word Pashu. So Pashupate, the Bhagavan of all beings, and also the ones who are in this Ajnana, who have not realized the supreme truth, they are all also called Pashus. Vidya Vihina Pashuhu. So we don't have that Atma Vidya also referred to as Pashu. So Pashupate, O Bhagavan of all living beings. So here in this verse, Shankaracharya is bringing out this all-pervading magnificence of Parameshwara. Meaning Parameshwara is that Ananta Tattva. He is beyond our contemplation. Can we contemplate how big he is? He is Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. And he's all pervading the entire universe. We are like a minuscule part of this earth, which is a minuscule part of this solar system, which is a minuscule part of the Milky Way galaxy, which is a minuscule part of multiple galaxies. We don't even know. We can't contemplate. And Bhagavan is the Lord, the creator of all this. So, if he is all pervasive, beyond all this, beyond time, space, everything, to such a Bhagavan, if we have to do puja, is it really possible? We offer flowers, we offer some prasadam, but is it really possible for us to worship this, to worship Bhagavan in this way? So that is the background we should have while understanding this verse. So, Vastrodhuta vidhau sahasra karata. Vastro, if I have to offer you clothes, vastra, we offer vastra to Bhagavan even in temples, etc. We give our own way by cotton or silk cloth, whatever. But if you consider Bhagavan as this Ananta Shakti, this all-pervading magnificence, will that cloth, can we offer anything to him? So, Bhagavan, Parameshwara, in order to adorn you with clean clothes, with vastra, I should become what? I should be Sahasra Karata. I should have 1,000 arms. Here, Sahasra Karata refers to the sun. So, the sun has millions of rays, right? So, that is why he is called Sahasra Kirana. So, in order to offer Vastra to Parameshwara, who is all pervading, I have to be like the sun, who is a Sahasra Kirana, who has thousands of rays. Pushparchane, in order to do Pushparchana to Parameshwara, Vishnuta. So Vishnu, the meaning of the word is also means all pervading. That one who pervades everywhere, Vishnu. So in order to offer Pushparchana to Parameshwara, I need to assume that Vishnutvam, that Vishnuta, that all-pervading form I should have to do Pushparchana to you, Parameshwara. You are so magnificent and all-pervasive. And Gandhe, in order to offer Gandha or sandal paste, I should become the wind. I should have the nature of wind itself. Gandha Vahatmata. So, which is the element which has the power to carry this Gandha or fragrance everywhere? It is the wind. It can spread everywhere. So, Bhagavan is all pervading. He's there everywhere. He's all pervading. So, to offer Gandha, that is fragrance to such a Bhagavan, sandal paste to such a Bhagavan, I should become like the wind itself, who can carry the Gandha everywhere. And Anna Pachane, in preparing food for you, who is the Bhagavan of the universe, I should become Agni himself. Barhir Mukhadhyakshata. I should have the role, Adhyakshata of Agni itself. And in order to that vessel to prepare food for Bhagavan, what should it be? It should be that Kanchana Garbha itself. Kanchana Garbha here refers to the golden pot or Hiranya Garbha. So Hiranya Garbha is that cosmic form of Brahman, and out of which the universe is born, the Brahmanda is born. So Hiranya Garbha Tattva, you all can read about it. So that has the entire universe creation itself. So that is the cosmic form. That is Hiranya Garbha, the golden womb, it is called. So that the patra, that is the vessel to make prasadam for Bhagavan, should be that Hiranya Garbha itself. Unless I have that Hiranya Garbha, how can I make prasadam for you, who is that Ananta Shakti? Oh Bhagavan, Patre Kanchana Garbhata asti mayi chet. If I have all these things, meaning Vastrodhuta vidhau sahasra karata mayi asti chet, while giving cloth to you, if I have that quality of the sun with 1,000 kiranas, Pushparchane Vishnuta asti chet, in doing archana with flowers, only if I have that quality of that Vishnutvam or Vishnuta, all pervasiveness, Gandhe Gandhavahatmata asti chet, while giving you sandal paste, only if I have that quality of the wind which can spread everywhere, the fragrance. Anna Pachane Barhir Mukhadhyakshata asti chet, while offering the while making food for you, prasadam for you, unless I have the role of Agni, Patre, that particular vessel in which the food is made, the prasadam is made, Kanchana Garbhata, all these Garbhata, Vishnuta are all the quality of that. So Kanchana Garbhata, that Vishnu, that Hiranya Garbhatvam, only if that is there in me, only if I have all these qualities in me, Sahasrakarata, Vishnuta, Gandhavahatmata, Barhirmukhadhyakshata, and Kanchana Garbhata, only if I have all these qualities in me, Balendu Chudamane, Shushrusham Karavani, Te Shushrusham Karavani. only then I will be able to perform all these services to you. Shushrusha is service to you. O Pashupate, O Swamin, O Triloki Guru, O Balendu Chudamani. A very beautiful vocative word. Bala Indu Chudamani. Bala is small, young. Indu, because the Parameshwara, he has a crescent moon on his forehead, not the full moon, right? So Bala, a small Indu, a young Indu, a just growing Indu, Chudamanihi, the one who is adorned with the crescent moon on his forehead. Balendu Chudamane. So I hope the meaning of this verse is clear. We will just read once the meaning, then chant the verse, and we will conclude. O Bhagavan, adorned with the crescent moon on your matted locks, O Pashupati, master of all beings and teacher of the three worlds, only if I possess 1,000 arms to adorn you with clean clothes, the all-pervading nature of Vishnu to offer flowers, the nature of the wind to carry fragrances while offering incense and sandal paste, the role of Agni to prepare cooked food, and the form of Hiranyagarbha itself to be the vessel for such offerings, then I would be able to render perfect service to you. Yet I humbly seek to offer my devotion to you as best as I can. So, which means here the Bhakta is completely giving up the Ahankara, which is very important because we need to realize that as Bhaktas, we really can't give anything to the all-pervading Parameshwara, all-pervading Bhagavan. What we give is really nothing. But why we do all these puja, etc., is for our Antahkarana Shuddhi and to go in that path of cleansing the mind to attain Shivanandam. So, O Parameshwara, what we give you is nothing. If we do a puja or if we conduct some ritual and think, oh, I have done it, that is our ahankara. That is an impediment, rather, roadblock to understanding Parameshwara or getting that Shivanandam. So, complete giving up ahankara and realizing how insignificant and minuscule we are. That is the bhava behind this verse. Parameshwara, there is nothing we can offer to you because you are all pervading Ananta Shakti. But still, we offer our mind, we offer our devotion. That is what he has said in the previous verses also. Vastrodhuta vidhau sahasrakarata pushparchane vishnuta gandhe gandhavahatmatanna pachane barhirmukhadhyakshata Patre kanchana garbhatasti mahi chet balendu chudamane shushrusham karavani te pashupate swamin triloki guru. Okay, we will conclude as usual with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you to all the panelists, to all of you for attending and for all your messages and emails. It really inspires us also, who are also students in this journey. We are not teachers or anything. So it inspires us too. And it's been a very wonderful experience with learning the meaning after each verse. So thank you so much. And interim assessment someone has asked for. We will discuss it internally and see. But even if there is one, I think we should complete at least 50 verses. But till now, we have not had any interim assessments. But as someone has raised the question, we will explore it. Dhanyavadaha, Ram Ram Ram. Agami Shanivasare Punarmilamaha. We will meet next Saturday. Ram Ram Ram.